particular reference to sub clause 3. Zara aap dekh lein, padh lein zara please. Then I'll go to the 2 other provisions.
My Lord, yes, nothing in this article shall prevent the state from making any special provision for the protection of women and children.
Otherwise, somebody could challenge this provision and saying, but this is unconstitutional. How can you give these women, aaye, lade, मैदान में आए, खड़ी हो, हमसे मुकाबला करें और जीते हैं. It could be struck down. This saves it. Then you turn to the principles of policy now, please. First read 34.
Steps shall be taken to ensure full participation of women in all spheres of national life.
Now read 36.
It shall safeguard the legitimate rights and interests of minorities, including their due representation in the federal and provincial services.
Now, if we take the scenario that to leave these seats empty, you may be penalizing one or the other political party, but who you're certainly penalizing are non-Muslims and women. Non-Muslims and women, whether they are in one party or not, presumably would protect their interests, their respective interests, if we consider their interests as something else, and presumably we do. Otherwise, there was no need for this provision in the Constitution. So this, I must acknowledge Justice Jamal Sahab for triggering this thought in my mind that why are we only talking about the political parties? At least, whether it's of political party A or political party B, the women numbers in the National Assembly go up. Whether it's political party A or B, the numbers of non-Muslims go up. So I think it would be very fair and be doing violence to both these segments, these very important segments of society, to throw them out and just read this provision completely separately from the fact that this provision is there for their benefit, not there for the benefit of the political party. That may be an added benefit to the political party, but that segment of population comes in representative in A, B or C political party, that segment will have a voice, that segment will talk, that segment will legislate. What do you have to say on that?
My Lord, I bow to that observation. May I say that to add further, I know your Lordship doesn't like a reference to some of the checkered history, but it is part of our history.
No, I like a reference to history, our history, and to learn from it.
My Lord, the lesson from our history is that there was a period of time when there were separate electorates in that country. And when those separate electorates were done away with, it was thought that the result, while the result may be good to bring the nation together, one of the consequences may be that no one from the minorities may get elected. So definitely this number of minority seats and the women's seats are part of the affirmative action by persons who were amending the Constitution or making the Constitution at that time. This is affirmative action. And of course, the immediate beneficiary will be the minorities and women who will have a greater representation in the National Assembly. The consequential beneficiaries, or we may say equal beneficiaries, will be political parties, because the vehicle for getting these seats is made by the Constitution to be a political party. Previously there used to be that let's look at the total percentage of votes which are secured in the general elections and let us exclude anyone who gets less than 5% of votes. That was another formula. All of these mathematical formulas, my Lord, are in a way arbitrary. But that's what the Constitution makers decided. Now this formula is, you have general seats, the division of these seats will be in proportion. If there are only 2 political parties with 10 candidates succeeding, it will be divided between them. If the nation at some moment of lucidity or insanity chooses to elect all independent candidates, then we may have a constitutional problem, but that is not a problem which needs to be addressed now, because as your lordships have repeatedly observed, and I am made wiser by those observations, that constitutional cases should be decided on the narrowest possible grounds, and that ground is purely hypothetical. So the
मखदूम साहब, ये मैं जस्टिस आयशा साहिबा के सवाल के रेफरेंस से आपसे सवाल कर रहा हूँ. ये पेज नंबर 294 जो पेपर बुक है CMA 5840 of 24, इन्होंने इन्होंने पंजाब के रेफरेंस से आपसे बात की, इसमें खैबर पख्तूनख्वा के जो वुमेन्स की रिजर्व सीट्स हैं, अगर आप 294 पेज देखें
जी सर,
तो इसमें PMLN की 4 सीट्स हैं, जमात उलमा इस्लाम पाकिस्तान की 2 सीट्स हैं और पाकिस्तान पीपल्स पार्टी की 2 सीट्स विमेंस उसकी। इन्होंने मेरे ख्याल से नेशनल असेंबली की जो सीट्स हैं इनकी 4 सीट्स नहीं होंगी वहां पे, जो वैसे सीट्स ऑब्टेन करी होंगी आफ्टर इलेक्शन। इसी तरह से प्रोविंशियल असेंबली की नेक्स्ट पेज पे है 295 पेज पे
जी सर,
इसमें जमात उलमा पाकिस्तान की 8 सीट्स हैं प्रोविंशियल असेंबली की, और 5 सीट्स पाकिस्तान मुस्लिम लीग की हैं, 5 सीट पाकिस्तान पीपल्स पार्टी की है और 1 सीट पाकिस्तान तहरीके इंसाफ पार्लियामेंटेरियन की है। इनकी सीट्स प्रोविंशियल असेंबली में इतनी नहीं होंगी, या इतनी होंगी उससे ज्यादा प्रोपोर्शन इनको नेशनल असेंबली में भी दिया गया है कि इसकी 4 सीट्स थी जमात उलमा मुस्लिम लीग की वहां पर नेशनल असेंबली में खैबर पख्तूनख्वा से, या जमात उलमा इस्लाम की 2 सीट्स नेशनल असेंबली में खैबर पख्तूनख्वा असेंबली में। इसी तरह से 8 सीट जमात उलमा इस्लाम की, और ये जो पाकिस्तान तहरीक इंसाफ पार्लियामेंटेरियन है इसकी मेरे ख्याल से 1 सीट थी खैबर, और उसको एक एडिशनल सीट मिल गई। तो ये इसके अंदर जो है कि सबसे ज्यादा प्रोपोर्शन खराब जो हो रहा है यहाँ पर वो खैबर पख्तूनख्वा में हो रहा है।
Lord, that is why the submission most respectfully was that the word proportional representation is to be looked at in the context of general seats won by a political party. That example has been categorized as extreme, but let me say, in a particular scenario for National Assembly, if there are 2 political parties which win 10 seats each, and the remaining seats are all won by independents, what will happen? Each one of those 2 parties will get 30 of the women's seats. Is it proportionate generally? No. But is it proportionate in the context of political parties represented in the National Assembly having won the general seats, getting the reserved seats? Because they have 10 seats each and there are 60 reserved seats, they will be divided 50-50. So it depends upon how your lordship looks at the concept of proportional representation system. When it is
basically, with this argument on the basis of the reserved seats, the outcome of the general election can easily be changed. You can, because now we're going to look at the list and we're going to look at political parties and not at proportional representation of the number of seats secured, we're just going to look at list and political party. So the outcome can totally change on the basis of this now, because there are just 2 parties or 3 parties and we have to divide those seats, and parties which did not secure a majority would now have an overwhelming majority because we have to look at lists and political parties.
मैं इसमें ऐड करता हूँ, यानी आप के कहने का मकसद जो मैं समझाऊँ वो ये है कि हमने ये नहीं देखना कि लॉजिकल है या नहीं लॉजिकल, अब हमने ये देखना है कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन क्या कहता है। वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन जो है वो वक्त के साथ साथ चेंज होती रहती है, यानी हर इलेक्शन में एक सा नहीं रहता, यानी वो फिक्स्ड रेशियो या फिक्स्ड परसेंटेज नहीं है, ये चेंज होता रहता है ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ seat secured by each party, political party, irrespective of the fact that the independents are in majority or more than the seats secured by the other parties. तो ये आप कहते हैं तकसीम प्योरली ये इन्होंने जो बनाया कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन उनकी मर्जी है, वो इस तरह करें या क्या?
My lord, I have said that many of these divisions are arbitrary. For instance, when initially it was on a percentage of